I would think they would have a tower here.
One step to your right. Baby step, baby step. Ahí.
Vas a moverte para ahí.
Live from Victory Park, this is News 8 at 10.
It happened here, our home, our town. Not some distant city that you only see on television. Here, Dallas.
And as we look over to our beautiful city beneath us, we see nothing but empty streets on what should be a very busy Friday night. And over the last 25 hours, we have firm numbers tonight. 12 police officers shot, 5 dead, targeted. And we now know the names of those who died for the city. We also know so much more about the man who pulled the trigger, his history with the Army and with anger. President Barack Obama says he's on his way to Dallas in the coming days.
You know, moments like this can define a place. It can be a defining moment for a city. Not so much for the evil that happened, but for the good that was done by others. Here's Jason Whiteley.
You ready? Indict! Convict! Send those killer cops to jail!
The point of the protest was people matter. Life is valuable and should be preserved.
Hands up! Hands up! Don't shoot!
When it all began. The pops scattered protesters. Journalists.
Okay, come on. Come on, go!
And frightened families. Citizens even got pinned down with police.
This is for real. This ain't no TV show. This is live.
A guy with a rifle shot 2 police officers.
It appears that the police are looking up here at this parking garage. There's a possibility of where a suspect might be.
Father God, keep us safe.
A sniper targeting those in uniform. Frantic police backed a patrol car into the middle of Main Street, dragging a fallen colleague to safety. Tragically, 2 more policemen lay mortally wounded nearby.
The suspect said he was upset at white people. The suspect stated he wanted to kill white people, especially white officers.
Unfortunately, he did. Shot 12 officers and killed 5. 4 were Dallas policemen. 1 was a transit officer from Dart.
To say that our police officers put their life on the line every day is no hyperbole, ladies and gentlemen. It's a reality.
Micah Johnson is the man police say pulled the trigger. A homegrown terrorist, radicalized by police shootings across the country. Holed up inside El Centro Community College for 6 hours after the shootings, where he was eventually killed.
We pray for every city around this country We pray for cities that we watched on television and ate our dinners and went to bed and thought it was their trouble and not our own. For death has come into our windows.
This is Dallas's darkest day in generations. A deadly attack many worried would come, but no one could have imagined would happen here.
It's 5 red roses for 5 heroes. I'm sorry. It breaks my heart.
It broke the cities as well. Jason Whiteley, Channel 8 News.
In total, 12 officers and 2 civilians were shot in downtown Dallas last night. These 5 men would die on the scene and in emergency surgery. It is the highest number of officers in the U.S. killed in a single incident since 9/11. And just a few hours ago, we watched the first solemn procession from the Dallas County Medical Examiner's Office to Restland Funeral Home. Here is a live look now at the growing memorial to the victims outside Dallas Police Headquarters. Tonight, News 8's Lauren Zakalik has a lot more on these husbands, fathers, and friends.
He was pretty close to when he got out of high school right here.
Rick Zamaripa is the textbook definition of a proud dad.
Up there on top, that's in Kuwait.
He says his son Patrick made it easy.
Patrick's the type of person that if he had $1 left in his pocket, he'd give it to you if you needed it. He would bend over backwards.
Patrick Zamaripa was a musician, a military veteran, a dad, and a Dallas police officer. So, of course, when his family saw what was happening Thursday night on the news, they frantically texted and called.
I said, Patrick, please call us. Your dad's really worried and he's crying.
I was crying.
We need to hear from you.
They never did hear from him. Patrick was one of 5 officers fatally shot by a sniper as he patrolled a protest downtown. DART officer Brent Thompson, a grandfather, died too.
He's going to be missed. He was a great officer and he will be missed.
Thompson comes from a well-known family in Corsicana where he'd worked for the sheriff's office and the school district.
He was running to the danger when other people run away from the danger.
Friends recall a fun-loving family man. He was the first DART officer ever to be killed in the line of duty.
You know, this is, we call the meat. He's big guy, invincible.
Jaime Castro is talking about DPD Senior Corporal Lauren Ahrens, his friend since their rookie days.
The minute I walked in, they said Ahrens. I was like, it can't be him.
The father of 2 was a friend to many, known for his humor and crooked smile. His wife is in law enforcement too.
She's having a real hard time, and understandably so. Because we thought he was going to make it.
Officer Michael Kroll didn't make it either. He just turned 40.
It's numb. It's numbing. You just can't accept it,
His family in Michigan says he'd moved to Dallas because he loved it here, and he loved the people.
I just wanted him to be honored for the sacrifice that he made. He was there that day to protect those people.
And friends say Sergeant Michael Smith, a doting father to his 2 daughters, was an Army Ranger and a man devoted to Christ. He'd recently talked about finally retiring.
These 5 officers didn't deserve to die. They didn't.
5 officers who were connected by their commitment to keeping the public safe. Their families now connected by unimaginable pain.
But what people need to understand, this needs to stop. I don't care if you're white, black, blue, purple, whatever. We're all God's creatures. God put us here. We're all the same.
I spent a bit of time today with Patrick Zamaripa's family. They say their son was a graduate of Fort Worth Paschal High School and was currently in the Navy Reserve. They want to thank the public for the love and support that they are feeling. We're live in the Fort Worth newsroom. Lauren Zakalik, Channel 8 News.
All right, Lauren. Police say just one man responsible for last night's violence, a 25-year-old reservist with no criminal history. Micah Xavier Johnson has no known terrorist affiliation, had served in Afghanistan, was living with his mother in Mesquite. News 8's Marie Saavedra has been digging into his background, and Marie, several people have described Johnson as a loner.
They have, John, and that was very interesting to learn for myself and the many hundreds of other people who were here in downtown Dallas last night, who quickly realized that that rapid crack of gunfire was no drill. These bullets were cutting through the air, fired by a man who told negotiators that he wanted to kill white police officers. Tonight, we know much more about the man who pulled that trigger.
A loner, angry with police,
who knew his way around a rifle. That is the simplest description of Micah Xavier Johnson and why he opened fire downtown Dallas Thursday night.
I was really, cursing this guy and hoping that they got him, and I wake up and I see that not only that I know this guy, but that he's been blown up.
Nick is one of several North Texans who worked with Johnson at a Richardson Jimmy John's in 2012.
It was pretty well known in the restaurant that he had a short temper. He was kind of a hothead.
He says Johnson was written up on the job for that attitude, and it led to his firing. From there, Johnson served in the U.S. Army Reserve for 6 years as a private first class with specialty in carpentry and masonry. He served 8 months in Afghanistan between 2013 and 2014. Shortly before he deployed, Johnson spent 6 months with the new Black Panther Party in Houston. Leaders of the group say they kicked Johnson out, calling him a hothead with violent ideas. Investigators believe those ideas grew into a planned attack with possible co-conspirators. Dallas police say federal agents found bomb-making materials, rifles, ammunition, ballistic vests, and a personal journal of combat tactics inside his Mesquite home on Friday. Neighbors didn't know Johnson well, but they did know recent police shootings deeply upset him.
Saying how tragic it is that, what was said one time was just like, police just trying to wipe out the black race.
Few knew he'd seek revenge in a shower of bullets. In Dallas, Marisa Vadra, Channel 8 News.
Well, by now you've probably seen this picture. Last night it spread like wildfire after police released it, calling the man in camouflage with a rifle a suspect. Well, today we caught up with Mark Hughes. He says he was questioned and released, but is still feeling the fallout of DPD's mistake. Scanner traffic indicates that police were watching Hughes long before the shots rang out, and not because of skin color, but because he was carrying an AR-15.
Black shorts, camo t-shirt with a long gun, looks like an AR-15, walking towards McDonald's.
I was exercising my rights, my constitutional rights, to go to a peaceful rally, carry my firearm, and be within the parameters of the law.
The department has not officially cleared Hughes nor responded to our request for comment.
Just 24 hours after our city's nightmare, a tense scene in Atlanta. Look at that. Police brutality. Protesters shut down a busy interstate, staring down officers on a blockade. The group remained largely peaceful, but some officers in riot gear were spit on and had water bottles thrown at them. The mayors of Dallas and Fort Worth are calling for calm. Both bowed their heads alongside religious leaders at prayer vigils today. News 8's Jobin Paniker continues our coverage now. In Jobin, these prayers continued into the evening.
The memorial here just outside DPD headquarters is growing by the minute. I want to push to the side here so you can see how massive this is. People are walking 2 to 3 blocks away just to bring items here. We see flowers, we see shirts, we see posters, and it answers one question that often comes after tragedy. How do we respond?
You can't just stand silently by.
No, you can't. Stan didn't. He started this memorial with one bouquet.
And that's what came to mind this morning. And I just said, well, let's just see what happens. And this is what happened.
Outside DPD's Northeast substation.
We wanted to bring cupcakes and cookies.
Thank you came in so many forms.
We're trying to make them feel better.
That's how they responded.
There's been a stream of people coming in.
Yet we've become all too familiar, whether Charleston or Ferguson or Orlando or Sanford.
The response here was moving. It is a call for action at Concord Church.
For the psalmist sang, "Behold, how good and pleasant it is for sisters and brothers to dwell together in unity."
How do you respond when 5 lives are tragically taken and 9 total are injured?
Braulio's past, present, and future for the DPD officers that lost their lives, and my dad's life matters.
Peace and understanding is a good start. This was outside at the cathedral. These notes are wishes, they are prayers, they are personal.
Love and peace for our world, for all. I'm thankful for our police officers.
Inside a gathering of the community, a place where healing can start. When vivid memories of the chilling moments fade, we will be left with that question. How did you respond? Jubin Paniker, Channel 8 News.
You know, if you want to help the families of our fallen officers, we really have made it easy for you.
We have. Just head to WFAA.com/StandUnited to donate directly to those affected by last night's violence. And you can also find a link at our homepage here.
Stay with us. Our coverage continues right after this.
As the protest ended, began firing upon our officers. As the protest ended, began firing upon our officers, ambush style.
We're trying to put forth a rational solution to an irrational problem.
Picture of the governor's mansion bathed in blue at this hour to honor the police officers killed last night.
It will stay lit for 5 nights, one for each of the officers.
We as a people need to move forward and live our everyday lives, knowing that Texas is going to be greater going forward, unaltered, unaffected by this act of cowardice.
Meanwhile, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick blamed Black Lives Matter's protesters for the shooting. In an interview on Fox News, Patrick said the hate on social media inspired the gunman. He also criticized marchers for expecting protection from officers when shots were fired, calling them hypocrites.
We're going into, of course, we're already in the summertime, but haven't seen those nasty 105 and 106 and 107 and that sort of thing, but they're still warm.
The wind.
It's hot. It was a little breezy today. Winds out of the south, 10 to 15 to 20. But the turnout today for our phone bank was enormous.
Yes, it was.
We stopped doing it at 7 o'clock tonight, at least talking about it on TV. We finally, I mean, the phones continued to ring until 8:30 tonight. There's a big thank you that goes out to everybody in North Texas, everybody that helped out tonight. Big thank you to you. We sure appreciate that. Again, hashtag Stand United. You can still donate. We make it easy. WFA.com/Stand United. You can do it online or you can go to Tom Thumb. Tom Thumb has made it just so easy for everyone that wants to help out. Walk into your Tom Thumb when you're paying your bill. Add on an extra few bucks. Whatever it is, you can do that at Tom Thumb for the next week. And remember, everything goes to Assist the Officer Foundation. It stays right here in Dallas. Not only that, but it stays right with those that have been, by the ones that have been shot The ones that have been injured, it will help them and their families. And the 5 men that lost their lives, it will help their families too. So it stays right here, not only in Dallas, but it stays with the ones that have been affected, the ones that were injured, the ones that were killed. So it's staying right here. Assist the officer. Once again, WFA.com/StandUnited. All right, let me talk about what we have going on out there right now. We have a little thunderstorm activity, some showers, thunderstorms from Vernon to Wichita Falls to Aspermont to Guthrie. This is not severe. It's a light rain, just some light showers moving in our direction. Most of it falls apart. Got a cap in place right now, dry air in place. Wichita Falls, Bowie at midnight. Watch that. Not much moves in. Could be a few showers to the northwest as we head through the overnight, but that's about it. Tomorrow, 6 in the morning, we're dry, but a little bit of rain could develop tomorrow afternoon. Heating of the day, things start to fire up. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms. I'm not anticipating any severe, but 20 to 30% of us could see a little bit of rain tomorrow, especially during the middle to latter part of the afternoon. We'll dry out then tomorrow night. Tonight, isolated rain mainly to the west and northwest of Dallas and Fort Worth. 79 and muggy tonight. Tomorrow we'll hit 96. That'll be our high. We hit 97 today. 96 tomorrow. A breezy, hot, humid day. About 20 to 30% of us see some rain as we head through tomorrow. There's the next 7. There's really no change. 97 yesterday, 97 today. We'll stay in that range as we head through not only the next 7 days, but right through the next 10 days. Not much in the way of rain. The vast majority of North Texas stays dry, but we will stay very hot. No triple-digit temperatures and certainly no record heat. Sweet.
That's great news about the fundraising tonight,
Yeah,
Pete.
sure
Thanks
is.
for updating us on that. And I haven't even thought about sports.
I haven't either. Don't worry about it. I haven't either. I'd like to talk to you tonight about SMU basketball coach Larry Brown quitting, but we have more important things to talk about, so I'm unplugged about the shooting in Dallas last night. Next in sports. The Rangers lost to Minnesota last night, and I'm almost embarrassed to tell you I know that. I'm in my office watching the game, and then all hell breaks loose in our city. Reporters at our newsroom were scrambling, producers were yelling. We turned off the lights just in case, and I kept watching the game. It was another shooting in America. It was in our city this time, and police officers were being killed, but it was a couple of blocks away, and the Rangers were being shut out. This is what I have become. This is what too many of us have been for a long time now. We'll fly our flags at half-mast, we'll say all the right things, we'll make promises we won't keep, and then nothing will change. Our lives will go on while the lives of so many others won't, because we expect it now and we accept it. It wasn't this way when I was a boy, but it is life in America now. But shooting a police officer is not the answer to a problem that too many people deny. Police officers are not like you and me, they're better. They run into the darkened alley where we won't go. They run into the buildings we run from. They look for the person we try to hide from. But they're not allowed to make the human mistakes that we all make, because they have the power of God strapped to their hip and the authority to use it. When we talk about blindly supporting the blue, when we try to show our support for these brave men and women, we fail to realize we can't defend them all, and we shouldn't defend them all. A white man in America doesn't die for selling cigarettes on a street corner, he gets a ticket. A white man in America doesn't die for driving with a broken tail light, he gets a ticket too. And the officers who abuse the badge and the power they have should be punished, and too many times they're not. But what possible purpose does opening fire on the streets of Dallas do to right the wrongs too many people deal with every day? As one of those on the city streets last night told a reporter, they might have killed the good cops. A person of color has always hated to be painted with a broad brush, to suffer the indignity of the stereotype so many people claim is fact. And then that killer last night did exactly the same thing, shooting at anyone in blue, because don't we all really know they're all the same? America's problem has come to Dallas now, and our lieutenant governor blames the peaceful protesters because our lieutenant governor is a fool. It was not just an attack on the Dallas police, it was an attack on our basic humanity and the common decency we used to cherish in America, but that's all gone now. We lost that a long time ago. The Rangers lost last night 10-1, and I'm almost embarrassed to tell you I know that.
We ask that you please join us now in a moment of silence.
The Rangers had a moment of silence before the game with Minnesota tonight, and Cole Hamels tried to stop the losing. This is how bad it is now. Rangers lead 4-2 in the fifth. Then Miguel Sano hits a home run with 2 on. Hamels throws 106 pitches and can't get out of the fifth. 7th straight game. A Ranger starter can't go 5. But the Rangers are winning now. They're leading 6-5 in the 9th inning. And that's about all I care about sports tonight, too.
Thank you, Dale. And I can tell you that I spent the day with Dallas police officers, and they wanted me to tell you how grateful they are for your love and kindness today. They needed it. We'll be right back. And as you just heard from Pete Delkus, we held a phone bank donation drive raising funds for the Assist the Officer Foundation. You came through, North Texas, in a way we could never have predicted. It was the largest total for our phone bank, raising more than $255,000. If you have not given, but you want to, just go to the homepage of WFAA.com.
You know, someday in the distant future, our relatives will wonder, what is it they were really thinking that went through their minds that day the officers were gunned down? Most of us will be gone, and with us, much of what we've been feeling. But as we say goodnight, we leave this testament to the future of a few of our thoughts about a terrible day. Good night.
It seems like it's been a while since the last time we felt this unsettled. Kind of like, will this be the moment that sets off something even worse?
So I worry that maybe it won't change, that there will still be division, racial division, religious division.
Thursday night goes on our city's permanent record, probably somewhere near the top below JFK, from another turbulent decade.
My mother said it reminds her of the 60s.
Many feel that that progress that has been made is now being turned around.
The country feels angry, and we feel numb.
They're supposed to be out here protecting us, and they're killing us, so we're mad.
We have an overwhelming anger problem in our country, for sure.
It's because of continuous things that continue to happen with no indictments, with no accountability, and everybody's tired of it.
Since the beginning in America, there has always been a place for anger. On the streets, in protest. It is our right, and now it's been threatened.
We're out there doing our job, trying to let people express their opinions and exercise their rights, and then for something like this to come of it, it just doesn't make any sense.
It's natural to rush into healing when you're really hurting, and we are. But it seems the healing we need is of an even deeper kind.
As I close this prayer today, I close it with your promise. I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. Heal America. In the name of our Lord Jesus, amen.